Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman Arkham Knight Two-Face. Continuing our looks at the Arkham Knight figures and Arkham Origins figures, we got ourselves Two-Face. Now I have to say, didn't really like the look of Two-Face, but for a smaller scale figure, it looks like they put some pretty good paint on him. We'll see when we get this guy opened up out of the packaging. A very scarred, disfigured Two-Face on the side. To each his own, but I'm not crazy about the bald, scarred Two-Face. I like the crazier hair Two-Face. That's just me. I like, zany hair on the one side. This is the way I grew up with the character. On the back, a much larger version of Two-Face as well. Same photo. And again, not so much the halved decorative suit. This carries over the false suit, no pun intended, to the Nolan universe Two-Face, where the one side is just basically more so burned. Again, I like zany suit, regular suit. That's just me. Real name, Harvey Dent. Occupation, attorney. Professional criminal. Weapon of choice, twin semi-automatic handguns. Other characters available are DC Comics Scarecrow, DC Comics Red Hood, and Batman. That would also be the Arkham Knight Batman, just in case you were wondering. DC Comics Multiverse are inspired by comic-based, character-rich entertainment sources, such as movies and video games. These characters are meticulously designed to be truly authentic, celebrating the many universes of entertaining DC Comics material. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, and when we come back, we're getting a better look at the DC Comics Multiverse Arkham Knight Two-Face. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. When Spot tries to look at figures, I try to look at it from a very unbiased opinion. Just because simply I don't care for this design of Two-Face. It doesn't make it a bad figure. So when I look at a figure like this, I kind of have to look at it very, again, unbiased. From an unbiased opinion of Two-Face, whatever I feel like my favorite design of Two-Face might be, you know what? This figure for this small is pretty good. I like it. I really like it. Zooming into his face, because that's one of the the assets to this figure is his face. He's got the human side and the very scarred Two-Face side. For it being so small, the eyes painted in nicely. You get the little areas with the teeth. And all the little crevices they put a darker paint over top of that just to make all those details stand out. I wasn't crazy about the 6-inch version of this figure. And I don't have that figure in hand anymore. I'm not sure what I ended up doing with it, but I don't feel like this is they've reused and scaled down the body. What's the giveaway for me is because the arms are hinged, I think the other figure had a swivel hinge in the bicep. So I think that this is probably 100% new sculpt. Some nice detailing in his suit. Little charred crevices of the suit. Despite, it's always funny that because Two-Face is burned, it conveniently burns itself right at the midpoint line. Like it wouldn't burn like 3/4 of the way or, just on the corner or shoulder area. No, it manages to burn just the complete half side of him. But that's Two-Face. You could use that argument as well for acid. He covers his face, but really, how is it exactly his face is one side is burned perfectly. He does have an accessory. Before you jump out of your seat, he does have an accessory, but it's molded in. It's his coin. I'm not upset that the coin is sculpted in. If this was loose, it would be lost. Who are we kidding? This would be lost in a heartbeat. But they give you a coin. It is what it is. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me too much. I would have preferred if he had come with like maybe 2 semi-automatic handguns as advertised on the back of the package for weapons. But, if you had like G.I. Joes or anything that really had small handguns, Marvel Universe figures, you could put those in there as well. It's a great figure. It doesn't come with a display stand either, but I digress. For your articulation, Two-Face's head rotates. It does actually go up and down slightly. but mostly just left and right. Shoulders are on that ball hinge joint, similar to all the other figures that we looked at. Arms swivel all the way around. As mentioned, he only has a hinge in the elbow. Hinge also, by the way, in this elbow. Swivel in the hands. Swivel in the hand. And swiveled waist. This, by the way, is all kind of a rubbery plastic. You could theoretically open it, but there's nothing underneath it. It's just white. So they've really only painted around this section, around his tie. Legs hinge forward, hinge out, swivel the thigh, bend the knee, and no articulation in the foot. Before Spot wraps up this review, I just also want to bring your attention to the detailing on his watch. He really should have just decided to have the watch on this side rather than the very burned, painful arm, but again, I digress. Paint's very nice though. Nice gold, silver on the face of the watch. I like this figure. I like this figure. Not crazy on the design of Two-Face. You know me. By now, you guys know me. I like the more zany comic book version of Two-Face. For that reason, I wasn't crazy either about the Nolan Two-Face, but still, this figure is great. I like this figure. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Today's Toy Spot, we were looking at the DC Comics Multiverse Batman Arkham Knight Two-Face. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. See you next time.